News anchor posted a picture to his Twitter account showing a racist letter he received from a viewer. The anchor, Ken Body, wanted to take the time to respond to the letter and also thank those who have, as a result, in the end, shown him support.
So if you're a journalist or someone in the media, it really is not uncommon to receive a mean tweet or a nasty email. But this week, Ken Body, our friend and coworker, received a letter so vile, so ugly, it shocked and stunned us. And we want to warn you, we have blocked out the offending words. But we're going to share this letter with you to shed light on darkness. The letter, addressed to Ken Body at Coin TV, was written over a printout with a picture of Ken. Scrawled across the paper in black ink are the words, "Saw your face, noon, Friday news. You had a big smile saying Trump losing. Well, you black, ugly N-word. You need to be wrapped in chains and hung by your ugly black B-word. You ugly Democrat A-word." It is signed with a smiley face. Earlier this afternoon, I sat down with Ken. Ken, when you first opened that letter, what went through your mind as you started to read it?
It wasn't surprise. It wasn't shock. It wasn't fear. My main thought was I was sad that somebody would have that kind of hate in their heart and take the time to send a letter like that to somebody in the public eye.
The letter is so blatantly threatening and so blatantly racist. I mean, when you read it, it takes your breath away.
It did for a lot of other people. It didn't take my breath away because it didn't surprise me. I know that there's that element of people out there, and it's not the majority of people. I know that. However, there's always been this segment of society that holds these racist views. And being in a place like Oregon, which is majority white, you expect to encounter those people every now and then.
Do you think racism right now is being accelerated by our current political climate?
I think our political discourse now allows people to feel comfortable in expressing those views. I don't think that they have been amplified any more than they have been in the past in terms of how people actually feel. But I think they are amplified in the sense that people feel more comfortable in expressing those. And I think that there's a lot of polarization. There's a lot of making people who disagree with you or who are not part of your circle the enemy without making any attempt to try to have discourse. So I think that's a sad state of affairs where we are now.
If the person who wrote that letter was sitting right here on the couch next to us, right next to you, what would you tell that person if you had the chance?
Well, I would try to assess as much as I could in an individual conversation whether this person had mental health issues, and I would advise them to go get help. If not, then I would say you need to know black people. You need to know people of other races because we're all the same. Everybody has the same type of aspirations. They want to have a good family life. They want to be able to provide for their family. They want their kids to grow up in a better environment. That's universal humanity. And I think once we tie into the humanity of everyone, then the world will definitely be a better place.
So I worked with Ken for quite a while in Portland during my 20 years there. He is an absolute true professional. He's done amazing work in Portland and beyond. And it is sad to see him have to deal with this because he's just a great guy.
But kudos to him for responding to that kind of hate and ignorance with class and grace. That's not always easy. So he handled that as well as he could under the circumstances. But the most telling part of that was when he said, "It took your breath away, not mine." That's telling. Think about that. Think about that.
Powerful. Well, he pushed back on the hate. He got our attention, and he got his message out tonight, which was much more important and impactful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.